Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with a screenwriter's rant on Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe. Snake Eyes, the final trailer. I don't think I looked at the previous trailers, but this is the character from G.I. Joe who's a ninja and his friend Shadowstorm. Is that his name? Shadowstorm. This is the other guy. He's the guy who always dresses in white. Snake Eyes is in black. He's in white because they were from the same ninja clan, and that was the backstory of that toy. Yeah, that's about as deep as this gets. Look, they've made movies about amusement park rides and toys and all kinds of things. So it's not that it can't be good, but G.I. Joe Origins, I mean, like, they're really digging deep. This is like, going off on a tangent with Boba Fett, as they have also done, because they think, oh, these characters are cool, people like them, therefore they know them. They don't always know them, and this was just a character, a throwaway character, really. They're all just throwaway characters to promote the toys in G.I. Joe. They weren't meant to be dissected and seen. They just weren't. It was like, oh, we got Snake Eyes. He's a cool ninja guy. Ooh, let's give him an enemy. Yeah, he'll wear the opposite clothes, and we'll call him, I don't know, Shadowstorm or something. And then the secret origin will be, oh, they were from the same ninja clan. Oh, yeah, that's cool. That's it. That's all it was. This whole thing of like, well, now we've got this a whole movie as a backstory. Yeah, you could flesh it out, I guess, but it's a little more. It's like they're putting importance on something that wasn't really all that important to begin with, in my view. So first act, you probably know the story if you're a fan. I mean, he saves Shadowstorm. Is that his name? I forget. He saves him. He brings him into the clan, the ninja clan, which apparently saved people at one point, and then Snake Eyes goes with the Joes, and the Shadow guy gets corrupted by Cobra, and the rest is history, right? So this leads up to, I guess, the G.I. Joe. Like, they say the best G.I. Joe movie ever. Was there even a good one? I mean, the first G.I. Joe movie, which I went and saw, was an abomination on many levels. It was awful. It was brutally long and just not fun. Just not fun at all. But it didn't surprise me because it didn't look like they put any effort into it. They just figured, well, people watch this cartoon, we'll just do it. It wasn't even a good cartoon. I know, it hurts. I know it hurts, G.I. Joe fans, but it was never that good. There just wasn't enough to it. It was campy. If anything was campy, it was the G.I. Joe cartoon. Guys getting blown up in helicopters but magically jumping out just in time, and then somehow being able to deploy a parachute or just landing on the ground and rolling. I mean, come on. This was the 80s. The G.I. Joe cartoon was ridiculously dumb. It was brain dead. It was just the army at G.I. Joe, everybody had their own uniform. Everybody had their own pet and gadget. One guy gets a snowmobile, another guy gets a hawk, another guy's a ninja. There was like a million guys because they were selling toys. Then in Cobra, they were all in uniform. They were all in the exact same uniform because most of them were robots because those were the only guys you could kill. And the rest of them, they would go, run, kaboom. So the entire basis for this thing is dumb in my view. It's a toy line. It's dumb. It's about as interesting as trying to do a Mario Brothers movie, which they also did. Believe it or not, they did. John Leguizamo was one of the Mario Brothers. Probably one of the least Italian people I could think of. It was John Leguizamo. He was Luigi, and wasn't it Bob Hoskins? Bob Hoskins, who was English, as Mario. Yeah. So, and then He-Man is dumb too. That was from the same era. These are cartoons in the 80s weren't that cool. They just weren't. You remember them fondly, possibly, if you're as old as me, because you grew up on it, right? Just like I remember the banana splits fondly because I grew up on them. I love the banana splits. I'm really dating myself there. Um, so is this movie good? I'm sure it'll have cool action in it. I'm sure it'll be lots of explosions and whatnot. It looks like they have the Countess in it. In the end, it'll just lead in, I guess, to G.I. Joe and the Rise of Cobra, I guess. When they redo that, I guess they'll reboot that. I don't know how much money they can beat out of this franchise, but I guess they'll try. Personally, I'm out. I wouldn't waste my money on a movie like this. This is like, you already screwed the pooch. There wasn't much chance you were going to get it right the first time. Following the cartoon is not a good way to go. Completely ignoring the cartoon won't necessarily win you any adherence. It's it is what it is, and you're talking about producing this movie at a time when the age range for this movie, which would be adolescent, doesn't want these movies. They're not hitting with these movies unless you're going to make them actually cool. G.I. Joe was super ultra pro America. How are you going to do that now with everybody's girlfriend screaming, "No, America"? I don't think you're going to be able to pull it off. Now you might. You could go the other way and say, yeah, F these America haters, G.I. Joe, baby. I think you'd probably do pretty well if you did that. Make it fun. But it's hard to make this movie fun because it's so stupid. The whole concept is stupid. Cobra Commander, unless you got the guy with the voice, it's like the Transformers movie. It was all about the voice. It was all about the guy who did Optimus Prime. He has an amazing voice. In G.I. Joe, it was all about Cobra Commander. You got to get a guy who sounds exactly like him. Everybody else is forgettable. He's the only memorable guy, really. And then you do it, and Cobra tries to kill and enslave everybody, and the Joes come in, and they somehow stop them without killing a single soul. That's what you do. And you pick a handful of guys to be the team that are the actual diehard guys. I'm so old, I remember when G.I. Joe was one guy. It was one guy originally. And there was a 45 record, I'm really dating myself, a 45 record you would play, and then you'd read along with a comic book. And he had a little vehicle that could go in water and go on land, and it had a winch. It was the toy. And that was G.I. Joe. He was one army guy solving mysteries all by himself back in the day when solving mysteries were a thing. Obviously, that's long gone. Nobody remembers that. But how many people are going to remember Snake Eyes? Really? Even in the G.I. Joe movie, Snake Eyes was like, meh. Because the whole movie was meh. So I expect this to be a cool action movie up to a point. Probably watchable if you like action movies. But beyond that, trying to make this more important than it is, no, that's just not going to work. You should have made it fun, right? You should have made it fun. And it shouldn't be the origin story. It could be the origin story in like a flashback. But you really ought to take us to the modern day. But you kind of can't without putting 90 characters on the screen from G.I. Joe. So, I don't know. I'm not getting involved in this franchise. No way. No effing way. You want to? Knock yourself out. That's your $12, not mine. That's it for me and Little Joan. Make sure you check us out on Bitchute and Rumble because we have 2 other videos. 2 completely different videos every day. Right, Joan? Right, Joan? And we'll see you tomorrow.